But Jake, I have a question for you.
Yes, my friend.
Or more an idea to pass on to you, or a statement, if you will. When in war, there's 2 ways to win, right? Either you
Indeed.
kill your either you kill your enemy or your enemy retreats.
Hmm. Yes, very
W
true.
w Judging by everything that fell out yesterday, we
Or you
won.
lose. I mean, that's the final option,
Well,
realistically. But
that's why I said there's 2 ways to win. You don't win by losing. Anyways, but we won as of last night, or
says
as
who?
of, yesterday,
Yes,
says the captain of the opposition.
it's official.
I think that this is fantastic. For context, I guess we should say, what we're talking about, considering we've had half this conversation on, Messenger already. The
Yes.
announcement came out from Tony Khan himself
Dun dun
that on
dun.
September 20th, they are time shifting the All Out Toronto show. The show that I'm going to, by the way, for those of you out there that think that I'm biased.
Inconveniencing you. That was Cody's main point. He couldn't let up on. Oh, what about the fans that have hotels and stuff and have to get there earlier now? And I was like, I can't be mad at that. WWE's done that. They did that with an NXT show I went to. It happens when they have to move cards, but it just
Mhm.
goes to show your point, sir.
Okay. So I'm gonna actually you're gonna be surprised. I'm gonna give AEW a sliver of credit in a second. Or I'm going to give them the sliver of credit that I would have been able to give them if they hadn't gone too far.
Yes.
But anyways, the announcement came out yesterday. Sort of a combination of a couple of announcements, a rambling Tony Khan tweet, like that's not a regular thing.
No.
That All Out in Toronto is shifting from an 8 o'clock start time to a 3 o'clock start time.
Yes,
Now, what
indeed.
makes that even funnier is the alert that I got from Ticketmaster, because it corrects, because I've got the Apple Wallet thing, so it corrects the ticket within your wallet or whatever. My ticket now says entry at 1:15. So what the fuck are
Interesting.
they doing on that kickoff?
Yeah,
Not even
right?
gonna question it. And this is not even a conversation about like how good or bad I think All Out is gonna be. I think there is actually some potential. But they changed the time. They announced a new streaming service that you can grab it on,
Yes.
because you can already get it,
At a
what
at
is
a
it,
minute discount.
at a minute discount as well. But I mean, they've already done Prime, they've already done Triller, they've been doing Triller for a long time. There's also like pay-per-view.com. They do the YouTube purchase that you can do and all that kind of thing. Now it's available on I think they said Crave as well. No,
Uh,
HBO Max.
HBO Max, yeah,
HBO Max, which would be Crave up here
which you'll get a
in
discount at
Canada.
with.
Um, Here's the funny thing about that, like, and it's just a side note because I don't really care. They just started their deal with Prime not too long ago, right?
Yes.
So now hopping to another service and offering their customers a discount there. What's that going to do to their working relationship with Prime? I don't really care, but it's a funny thing
No,
to
but it is
consider.
because like they're segmenting their audience, just like Stephanie McMahon got the ire of ESPN for saying, use a
Yeah.
VPN. We've now seen how this plays out, and yeah, it's not going to work out
See,
well for them if they go
her
ahead
her
and keep
her
segmenting their audience. They have it all over the place, so you never know what their actual numbers are. Then you get false claims like, oh, they're up to over 500,000 live viewers a week on Max, meaning they're getting
Mhm.
1.3 million on TV. Shit like that we knew was
Yeah.
never ever happening. Even at their highest, they never broke that. Their highest ever
Yep.
was their debut.
The Stephanie McMahon thing, I just want to stick in there with a quick thing. The Stephanie McMahon thing is a sticky wicket because on one side, WWE is going into the ESPN deal for you guys in the States, starting with WrestlePalooza, which we're going
Yes.
to talk about in a second. But on the other hand, her podcast is sponsored by a VPN
And I'm
company.
so tired
So
of hearing, oh my goodness, she's doing it for the fans. She's doing it. She's not taking up for the fans. It's her wallet.
no,
There's a sponsor. If VPN wasn't
yeah.
a sponsor, she wouldn't have muttered those words once. It would never have been uttered out of her mouth. She would
Oh,
never
I
have
don't I don't think
cared.
she's I don't think she's don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she did it from an altruistic point of view, but
I'm
I
not
am
putting that
saying
on you, but a lot of people on Twitter have,
no.
have gone, even my co-host has gone under the guise of, oh, look at how altruistic, look how virtuous she is. Look at her go ahead and signal to us fans saying that it's okay, use it. I'm like, no, it's literally a sponsor. I said, had
Yeah.
they not sponsored it, she wouldn't have She wouldn't have been, a part of it. That's it. That's all it comes down to.
But what I'm saying is the other side of the coin. I'm not saying she's some super altruistic person.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the other side of the coin was, oh well, she's sure gonna piss off ESPN.
Yep.
She's got a podcast. She did an ad read. Now, did she apply the ad read to a WWE thing that's gonna be on ESPN? Yeah, but like she's kind of in a not
Oh,
saying
she
for
pissed them
sympathy
off
point of view, but
bad. She did.
she's what?
She pissed them off
She,
bad.
oh, I bet she did.
ESPN.
But
Oh yeah,
like,
they very angry. They big time mad.
are they big mad?
Yeah, they're big
But
mad.
like
Legitimately, like that. That's the
realistically,
last.
realistically speaking, like she's on a podcast that's sponsored by a VPN thing. She read an ad read for her sponsor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's this super great person, but I don't think she did anything wrong either.
I obviously don't have a
Like,
direct quote, but from what I was reading last, it was kind of like then you shouldn't have taken the sponsor, or you should have put it towards a different idea.
yeah, but
You shouldn't
was
have
her
used the
podcast
wrestling.
sponsored by them? Like, what happened first? Like, did they have a contract, like a sponsor contract with the VPN before they made the ESPN deal, or after?
That's a great point.
Because once you're in,
Yeah,
and you
you're
go breaking
in.
contracts,
Yeah, that's
then
a different
ESPN's
game.
going to ESPN's going to look at WWE and say like, okay, what kind of deal thing are we in?
Yeah.
Anyways, we went way off the beaten path there for a second. I don't think Stephanie McMahon is a great, super altruistic person. I just don't think she did anything wrong.
No, I agree with you there.
Point being, 1, 2, 3 punch there. They time shifted the show. They added another platform, which in and of itself is a good thing. And they threw in a discount that
Yeah.
they wouldn't have gotten until now because they're scared of the competition. My point is, you don't do bing, bang, boom in one post, in one press release, in one day, 17 days before said show, if you're not a little bit nervous.
Absolutely.
Now, caveat, if it was just the time shift, like they did the time shift with All In Texas as well.
Yes.
If it was just the time shift, I would almost applaud them because you and I said this ages ago.
Yes,
When the
long time
Wednesday
back.
Night War was happening and everybody was getting toxic on both sides, and I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else, I said, if both sides could be adults for 5 seconds, come to a compromise, both of them shift by an hour, and NXT runs from 7 to 9, Dynamite runs from 9 to 11. Everybody could win.
Yes.
This is the pay-per-view equivalent of that. But you're not doing it so that everybody can win. You're doing it because you're on the downslide and because you're scared. And
Yeah.
I don't remember who was in the original meme, but like Tony Khan, if you're scared, say you're scared.
And here's the thing too. What time does WrestlePalooza begin? That's what I'm trying to find out. Because
From everything I've seen, it's 8:00.
8
Like if they had
o'clock.
stayed,
Yeah.
the kickoffs would have been going head to head, and the starts of both shows would have been going head to head.
Mm.
But
Okay.
you know how this is what I say, like, oh, WWE's the people out there that are like WWE's only good now because they have competition. If you like WWE right now, you should thank AEW, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe that that's a thing. But if you believe that that's a thing, the collective you, not my co-host, obviously, but you out there, if you believe that that's a thing,
You people.
then you have to believe that thanks is owed to WWE for AEW giving you a cheaper pay-per-view.
Absolutely. Because like you said, that discount wouldn't have been offered.
The discount would have
And
been offered, the time shift wouldn't have been offered. And the other thing about it as well, I have to keep reiterating, I am going to one of these shows. My view would be slightly different if it was like anywhere else and it was just all out WrestlePalooza.
yeah.
Stretch it out over the course of the entire day. My wrestling starts at 1 in the afternoon and my wrestling ends at the end of WrestlePalooza. That'd be cool. It wouldn't get as much whiplash going from like one screen to the other to our friends at the Wrestling for Life Network that are probably going to be live reacting to both, right?
Yeah,
Like, let
exactly.
one go. It's like when All In Texas was a thing, and you finally turned off All In Texas, and you could switch over finally to Saturday night's main event. Would I
Yep.
love a little bit of distance? Yeah, but like at the same time, if I'm sitting at home in my room watching TV, the whole craziness factor that goes on with having two screens going, wrestling in this year, it happens a lot when TNA does their B shows, their Friday night shows, and I've got TNA on one screen and SmackDown on the other screen, and that's not That's not any kind of bad thing.
No, certainly not.
It's
But
just like there's flurry and fury everywhere. When we talk about this SmackDown coming up tomorrow night, I'll be twisting my head between a very, very loaded SmackDown and a very, very interesting MLP pay-per-view.
yeah.
Like, you can.
You can
But
multitask, and I've double screened several times with
triple screen,
NXT, and
actually.
yeah, well, yeah, we've done that as well. So
Triple screen, actually. Well,
yeah,
actually.
especially with the Wrestling for Life guys. Shout out to them. You know, I've been shouting them out to make sure people go and check them out while they're watching the shows for the watch along, and then you come to us
And
for
then
the
join you
reviews
after the
and-
fact.
Yeah,
I think
and then you for the pre-show.
if there's
you know,
ever
we got
if
the
there's
whole
ever a
market
cool
cornered.
1-2 if there's ever a cool 1-2 punch, check out our friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network during the shows, and then switch over to Jake after the show is over to give you a roundup and a wipe down. But as my point of all this being, if they had time shifted, I would have applauded them, because I was saying they should have done it 6 years ago.
Yeah,
They're
yeah, absolutely.
crying about the so-called counter programming that WWE is doing. And like I say, once again, and I'll say it every single time, you can only make a claim of counter programming if you are so arrogant to think you own a day on the calendar, and you don't.
That's
But if we're
I mean,
if
you
we're
could
gonna
say it's
pretend,
counter programming. I mean, I'm fine with saying that because hey, you want to
but
do
here's the
this
thing.
competition, you asked for it.
Here's the thing. I want Triple H to come out one day. Like, they don't do the kickoff or the what do you call it, the press scrums anymore.
Yeah.
And people are all of a sudden pretending that that's a bad thing. The day that Triple H comes out and says,
I hate
"Yeah,
when they did
Tony."
those.
No, but the day Triple H comes out at a press scrum and actually nuts up, puts the business suit down, picks up the leather jacket again, and says, "Yeah, Tony, fuck you. We are coming for you." You know what my response is going to be? Good.
Sign me up.
Good.
About
Because they've been
time.
treating them with kid gloves for 6 years now. They've been saying, "We're coming for you." They had Jericho doing the demo god stuff and all that
Yeah,
type of thing,
small
right?
little jerk around jokes, but
But you
nothing
cannot tell
serious.
me that the last time they went head to head, when the head to head was a developmental pay-per-view, Saturday night's main event, which isn't even a pay-per-view, and a pay-per-view that only consists of half the roster the next day in a different city.
Yeah.
If that has you worried, then I'm not surprised that now, once again, when you finally get to go up against big boy WWE, that you're going to shift. You're going to find every platform you can. You're going to find every platform that's left, and you're going to drop prices into the basement, not because you give a single solitary fuck about your fans, but because you're trying to scrape and maintain what we have left. And I would have been saying that
Exactly.
anyway. But what did I send to you right before we got it? Raj Giri of I forget what outfit he's from.
How is he not in jail
Dynamite.
yet?
What?
Raj? Oh, you said Raj, not Raja.
Oh,
Sorry, damn
not
it.
Raja. We're not talking about him today. AEW Dynamite garnered its lowest audience and lowest 18 to 49 demographic in history for
Oh,
Dynamite in its proper spot. Dynamite averaged only 472,000 viewers.
wow.
19% down just from the previous week. And keep in mind, also, this is while they're filling the 2300, which is less than 1,000 people. And
We were live last night too, and I kept saying like, "Oh, there's like not really any good reaction online. People aren't really like hyping this up
well,
at
because
all."
it's a
Like,
mess, right?
yeah,
Here's
so
the
I was
thing.
kind of confused, but I was like, people really, you know, they don't seem to be responding. I'm like, it seemed like it was a bad show, but I didn't think it was that bad really, and you know, from like the looks of it. But then I went through the
It's just
minute by
nothing great.
minute, and it was so
It's
just
cringe.
nothing. It was just a
But here's my
total
point.
nothing.
And here's where I want to get ahead of everybody, because I know what's coming. The pay-per-view, the all out Toronto show that, once again, I am going to, is 10,000 tickets less than SmackDown tomorrow.
Exactly. And don't worry, I'm not
And
hitting the
their
Toronto
main
button
event
every
show,
time. You're free to say it.
their equivalent Monday Night Raw is in the 2300 arena. And what are people going to say to me? What are people going to say to me, the NXT guy? "Oh, well, NXT ran the 2300 arena." Yeah, and that sucks too.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks for me. That sucks for me that tries to toot the horn for NXT. The difference is I will say that it sucks.
You've always been honest.
You think I don't want to see NXT back at the Barclay?
Exactly.
You think I don't want to see NXT in the Staples Center? You think I don't want to see an NXT pay-per-view in the Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto that
I want to see
actually
Lincoln
fills the
Field.
Scotiabank Arena?
WrestleMania 40. I want to see that filled for NXT.
Yeah,
That's
for
you know
sure.
what? I don't like hearing that AEW did poor, especially this bad. It's embarrassing, and it's also a bad look for wrestling fans. Not only does it show like a great disinterest in the product, but it also shows almost like a disdain in a way, because people are actively not tuning in.
Mhm,
It's
of
not like
course.
they're just forgetting to
But see, here's the
like
thing,
they're
and
avoiding it now.
here's where I give you the credit that I don't give myself, and I own this 100%. And I had a very, very similar conversation with, once again, I'm gonna shout out the guys from the Wrestling for Life Network, because I talk to Big Nick occasionally, and it's the difference between you and between those guys over there and me is you're noticing the bad stuff, right? You don't
Yeah,
want AEW to die. You hope they thrive eventually. You hope they find a run of success and they can turn themselves around. That would be where you're at with it,
totally
right?
fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Start doing something good. The results will be good, and you'll start doing good, right?
Yes, you nailed it.
What did I say about a month ago on this pod? If they turn around, I will say good for them. But I'm very, very, very much the Ivan Drago at this point of, if they die, they die.
Mm.
And
No,
I am
I
gonna be
feel that.
and I am gonna be that dickhead that looks around Scotiabank Arena when I am there for All Out, and I am gonna see if anybody has their phone out. And I am gonna be looking up in the boxes to see what the TVs in the boxes are showing, because we have seen AEW shows where people in the boxes are watching the corresponding WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah,
And you cannot tell me at this point that they have not retreated, that they have not forfeit, that they have not surrendered to put up the white flag, whatever. They shifted the pay-per-view for the second time. They've shifted the pay-per-view by more than 5 hours.
yeah.
And
This
last
way
time it
they're
was just
covered no matter what. Like
and
they're
last time it was just
basically good to
Saturday night's
go.
main event. And I'll make a bet with you this time around. This time around, they're gonna wrap up that show before WrestlePalooza starts.
Absolutely, for a couple of reasons. One, they absolutely need to, because they need to go ahead and have the show be done by then. This way they capture every bit of the search engine optimization. They want to be able to get the clicks and garner the headlines and all that type of stuff. They need that desperately. They need to go ahead and have that happen for them, because if not, it's all for naught. This is their second biggest show of the year. It's in Toronto, and they
Mhm.
need this to be a hit. They need this to revitalize and
And
bring
Toronto
back
and
their
I'll tell you, man,
class,
even when I was more high on them than I am now, obviously, Toronto's kind of a make or break market in a lot of ways. When they were here for Forbidden Door, and my interest wasn't quite, you and I talked about this on pods at nauseum. They would not have had my money for Collision if they didn't have Punk. And
Yeah.
that's not an offense meant to anybody else on the roster. I was able to get floor seats. It's the first time I've had floor seats to a show at Scotia, because it didn't sell that well. There was a lot of ROH stuff before and after the show. It was all kind of hodgepodge, but it was a lot of fun. There was that one 4-on-4 tag match that I talk about quite often. That was like Bullet Club Gold versus Ricky Saints, CM Punk, and the Revival. Now, how many of them are
Yeah.
in WWE now? But
Exactly, but
I will say, and I cannot lie, I cannot tell a lie. They were jacked and stacked to the rafters for Forbidden Door. I
oh
was happy
yeah.
for that. I'd never been to see any Japanese wrestling in my life. My experience with New Japan is zero. And again, they had Punk. And does it come down to one wrestler? Yes. If it wasn't for Jeff Hardy all those years ago, I never would have checked out TNA.
Yeah, hey,
CM Punk is that guy now.
it works
They
for you.
do not have, and I don't have the numbers in front of me. I should have looked them up before we started. They don't have close to the numbers that they had for Forbidden Door.
No, not a
Now
chance.
for All Out. And you remember before they brought back All Out was sort of the show that they were trying to position as their WrestleMania. Now that narrative has shifted, to be
Yes,
fair.
now they forgot about
It's
that.
it's become very much a WrestleMania backlash thing. But remember what they were trying to make it for a hot second there.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to
So
be their
there's nobody
main
that can tell me
story.
at this point. There's nobody that can tell me at this point in time. And this is not against anybody that of course I'm gonna go there, because Edge and Christian are gonna be there, and it's probably gonna be the main event, and it's Edge and Christian versus the Revival, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Um, but like it's not anything to do with the the wrestlers involved. I'm probably going to be there to see John Moxley versus Darby Allin. Is that going to be a lot of fun? Yes. Are all the criticisms that I have of John Moxley and the way that they've presented him in the past little while going to melt for one night?
Yeah,
Because
do
I'm
they
going to
just
see him and
wash
Darby Allin
away?
kill. Yeah, it's all going to wash away. I'm going to watch these guys kill each other. And because I'm there in person, it's going to be fucking awesome.
I was gonna say it
Let's
doesn't
be,
just
let's,
disappear, but you can at least put your bias
yeah.
aside or your opinions aside and just enjoy the show. A lot of people
Well, if
can't
you're at
do
a
that though.
pay-per-view, and this is again, this is what AEW survives on. So this is what makes it even funnier because their shows week to week get roasted.
Yeah.
And it's very much, again, I say this comes a lot from me being an NXT fan and specifically being an old school black and gold NXT fan. There was a big period of time. You and I used to talk about it. Me and Guapo used to talk about it. There was a period of time, especially when the episodes were pre-taped, you could skip the weekly show
Oh
and tune
yeah.
in for the takeovers and
Yep.
you'd be fine because the takeovers would serve you tenfold,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. And those shows were only an hour at that point too, pretty much. So
Oh
they
yeah,
they
the hour uninterrupted on the network
so
that was then tried to be counter-produced by AEW when they
mhm.
dropped. Yeah, that
Yeah,
that thing.
that one.
That's why I will never not find the counter programming argument funny because they were counter programming WWE from day one. They took what they thought was WWE's weakest link in NXT because NXT was on the network, and they're like, okay, we'll drop it right there. It just happens to be there.
I just
It
wish
just
someone would
happens to be there.
challenge Tony on this just once. Be
Mhm,
like, "Hey, but
mhm.
really, like, what is
But
this? Like, why
but you
would you
can't.
say it this
This is the
way?"
thing. This is the thing. When the guy speaks, we're the challenger out of one side of his mouth, and we're a victim on the other side of his mouth. There's no conversation to be had. There's
And you know what?
absolutely no.
I said it before. I would love nothing more to be like, "Oh, Dynamite just had their record viewership.
Yep.
Meanwhile, so did NXT." Like, I would love for both of them to be doing like
Yep.
Nitro and Raw numbers from the Attitude Era, or Monday Night War time. Like, I'd love to see both of them super successful because then it's only better for who, the wrestlers, the wrestling fans, everybody. Because then
I'm sorry,
you've
man.
got choice,
Like
all
I,
that.
I
But we're
again,
past
again,
that.
this
It's
is
never gonna happen.
but this is again, this is where we come down to, and it doesn't make you wrong and it doesn't make me right. It
No.
comes down to you are still way nicer than I am on this at this point. What I want right now, I hope, and I'm nervous about it because I don't want to fuck over TNA. But this rumor that's out there that WWE is like, we're gonna get you a TV deal, but it's gonna be on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hope it's true.
I mean, it would be interesting to see TNA take that number 2 spot officially because they have it in
Mhm.
spades. So,
I keep hearing that Bound for Glory, and this is going off on a direction now. I keep hearing that Bound for Glory is now outselling Slammiversary, which is awesome, which means they're gonna break their own all-time record twice in 1 year,
and people are like,
which is
"Oh, it's only
fantastic.
because of the Hardys and the Dudleys." I'm like, "Well, that's certainly part of it, but
Well,
there's
they're
so
okay.
much more."
Okay, guess what? Um, the All Out ticket sales is only because of Christian and Edge. So if you say a company is only selling tickets because they have cool people on their roster, then no company is going to get any credit for anything ever. Um,
Barring
you
last
know,
night, I don't even think we have any other official matches announced, do we, for All Out yet? Do we have?
I
I
think
only
they
saw the one that
announced
was official, but
there's the trios between Ricochet and his goobers versus the Hurt Syndicate.
yeah.
There's Mercedes Monet versus Riho. There's
Is that
the
official though?
yeah,
Okay.
they threw a graphic up like 5
Okay.
seconds after she made her comeback.
All right. I wasn't positive.
Which is okay, it's not cool. It's not exactly like sensical when WWE does it. It's not exactly sensical when AEW does it. But I will say, getting back to sort of my takeover comparison, and this is the last thing I'm going to say on this because there's much more fun stuff to talk about. If you want to say that they are in the black and gold NXT era where everybody roasts the weekly shows and then they save themselves at the pay-per-view, it says a lot that Tony Khan has taken what was supposed to be one of their biggest pay-per-views and retreated and pulled the time back
Yeah. I
and
mean,
offered so many discounts. And like it's just
it's
I'm
smart.
sorry. There's no other way to say this, and I'm sort of rounding out the point here. Tony Khan put up a white flag
Oh
last night or
yeah.
yesterday or however you want to say it. And we won.
They won't look at it that way. They'll say, "Oh, well, we did this so that we could go ahead and avoid any type of missed promotion or missed opportunity to be, because they don't want to get flooded out by WrestlePalooza, which WWE is
Yep.
absolutely doing everything they can to make sure that happens. So we'll see how far that goes. But yeah.
Okay, but when have they done it really realistically? I think they did one NXT show a while ago. They had that big weekend in Atlanta of like 3 different shows, and there's been this. You still can't show me anything that was as egregious as every Wednesday for like 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And I'm sorry.
been
And now when they have to shuffle a date, just out of coincidence, Dynamite moves to Tuesday. Or if they have to move a Collision, oh, just out of coincidence, we're gonna throw that on Thursday with TNA. Gee, I wonder why. Are they working with WWE? Like,
makes you wonder.
if everybody would take their gloves off and say, yes, this is a fight. Yes, we won yesterday. Yes, we lost today. It's fine. But instead, you get this, oh, look at this cool thing we're doing for the crowd that's disguising Tony Khan's biggest white flag.
Yes.
That's all I got. And I take it as a tremendous victory because, as I promised last night, I am not an adult tonight. I don't care. I am working down to the maturity level of our opposition.